What's up, guys? Titanium frame lock for $40? How could this be? I have my thoughts. Worth sharing, I think. This was really appealing. This is from a company called Monikala. Monikala? This is the first and only thing I think I've ever seen from them. This is called like the Assault Team 1 or something. It's kind of a weird name. But the Monikala Assault Team 1, it is an integral titanium frame lock, and it's $40 with 14C28N steel, which is quite nice, with a compound grind, which is also very nice. Sorry about the fingerprints. Also very nice. The grind's very nice. Nice satin finish on it, and the grind seemed to be well executed. It's thin behind the edge. Thing is nice. Deep carry pocket clip. Pins are sticking out, a little proud. I prefer to have those recessed in there, but for $40, you can't really complain. I think those standoffs are also titanium, which is interesting. Again, for the money, I think that's ridiculous. I'll say the knife is a little bit smaller than I thought it was going to be. It fits good. It's definitely a 4-finger knife, but it's just a little bit smaller than I thought. But it's good. The titanium seems to be, it's difficult to tell online, when you're looking at it, but the titanium is nice. I mean, it's good quality. Again, for $40, it's kind of ridiculous how they can do that. It's well finished. Seems to be of good quality, and it's, this titanium it's strong and it's lightweight, so that's cool. A couple gripes I'd think about. The centering is decent. Centering is very good. Maybe a little bit off to the left, but there it looks pretty darn perfect. It's good. Really good. The gripe I have with this thing is the detent is tight. I mean, really tight. To the point where the thumb, the flicker is like a no-go. You could do it if you're not a baby about it, like I'm being. You can do it, but it digs in, man. I think that has to do with the detent being too strong and the flicker being less than well finished. It's just hard. It's just tough on your finger. It's just a tough deploy. Even the thumb stud. I'm kind of weird about thumb studs. Who does really good thumb studs are Miguron. These tiered pyramid type thumb studs are not my. It just depends on every one is different, to be honest. Actually, this one is not my favorite. I mean, it looks like a standard thumb stud, but the way that this thing is situated, and also again with that detent being so strong, it's killing my finger. Again, is it? Can you deal with it? Yes, especially for $40. But honestly, even for $40, when it comes down to like. They're just, it's still $40, and it's not. I would probably not carry this thing, let alone use it a lot, because of how difficult the detent is. You could take this thing apart. I've seen some interesting videos, and also, if you guys know of an easier way, let me know. You could take this thing apart and work on the detent on the ball in there. If you can see that, kind of. You could, but I don't really want to take this thing apart. But maybe I should. Another thing you could do is like clinch. You could disengage the lock, having it like kind of the ball resting on the tang a little bit as it's kind of semi-open, and then clinch the frame lock to kind of push that detent ball in a little bit. In other words, accelerating the wear-in, the break-in process. That's another way of doing it. It's whatever suits your fancy. I don't know if I'm going to do that with this or not. I mean, you can just open it 10,000 times and see if that works too, to break it in. But anyway, it's just something to be aware of. I think for $40, you are getting a lot, and this is just a data set of one here, so maybe the other ones have less of a strong detent, which would make for a much more enjoyable knife. But it's just it's just annoying to open. Everything else is rock solid. I mean, it seems this thing's riding on bearings, so it's very smooth. Once you get past the detent, it's smooth opening and closing. It's very nice. It's pretty much drop shut, I think. You know, pretty good. It's good. You know, again, you could probably loosen that up a little bit yourself. So you know, something to be aware of. It's a cool knife. As I said, a little bit smaller than I thought it was going to be. But the compound grind on this thing is also really well done. I think they did a good job on the satin, and the grind marks are nice. Thin behind the edge, very sharp. I'll give them that too. It came sharp. 14C28N is like the new in thing in terms of budget steel, and I think for good reason. It just seems it's a lot easier to work with for the manufacturer to have them be less afraid to get super thin behind the edge and still not be super concerned with brittleness or with the thing chipping out or whatever. I think a lot of people are happy with 14C28N, and it is good. It's definitely an upgrade from D2 or something like that. So, do you have one of these things? It's titanium frame locks are cool and expensive. So to see something like this is really interesting. It's just a shame. I mean, they pretty much nailed everything except for the action, like how the D10 is. And also, I have to say the flicker is not the best. It's just not the best. But it is what it is, I suppose. Let me know if you've heard of that brand, Monikala. I'm sure this is made in China. It doesn't say anything on that though. But it's cool. So, Monikala. Nice. Titanium frame locks are fun. So that's it. Have one. Like it. Is your detent very, very, very strong, or is it good? And if you have any tips on how to kind of manually adjust the detent hopefully without disassembling this thing, but if I have to do that, maybe I have to do that. Okay. Hope y'all are well. Quick video. Adios.